enough doom and gloom. Let's get to some round ball talk. Cavs hosted their annual media day today, and that is the unofficial start of training camp. They're doing a little different this year, heading down to Florida for the first part of their training camp because taking camp on the road has worked so well for the Browns. So let's do it for the Cavs. But they're running it back. Kobe Altman said we're going to run it back in June or whenever he said that, and he stuck to his word. So that includes Isaac Okoro and Dean Wade. So where are we
Tristan
thinking,
Thompson.
guys? Ed Tristan Thompson, yeah, he's on the roster again. Not Marcus Morris though. He's no longer here. But how are we feeling? Still a couple weeks before almost a month before the regular season starts. But how are we feeling here as James has brought up our training camp roster? A lot of familiar names, but where do you guys want to start with it?
I need James.
Well, I mean,
You want me to start? You really want me to start?
I need you to tell me why Donovan Mitchell's not a number one. Let's start there.
Oh, he's
Here we
definitely
go.
number one. Here we go. Buckle up.
We're off and running.
No, I will say it was really nice it was refreshing to hear him just be able to relax at the press conference and just be honest, and where he had made a decision at some point last year that he was going to be coming back, telling his teammates that, and mentioning to his mom how he really liked it here. He said he talks about the traffic's only bad when it's 5 o'clock. That's usually true. I mean, except for all the construction we had. But no, it felt good to have somebody of his stature that I remember in Utah when he was playing there. He sent a tweet out, I think, back then. He was saying, hey, is there any barbecues? Anybody having a barbecue close by? And he was looking for people to, send him an address. So he ended up showing at some dude's barbecue, and it was a pool party. And so he said he's a pretty simple guy. So from a human standpoint, totally excited for that. Happy for him. Really hoping his knee is going to hold up through the contract extension that he signed. And, I'm looking forward to him trying to lead this team next year, or this next season again, and into next year for the playoffs, and hopefully take another step up and maybe get to the Eastern Conference Finals. But that's a big if, because it's got to be a hell of a lot more than Donovan Mitchell in round 2 the way it was this past year, especially with the Knicks trade, looking to get Cat from the T-Wolves. The Knicks once again improving, but I think we still all see the Cavs somewhere as a mid playoff team, yes, but kind of like in the mid area of like the 4 or 5 seeds, maybe even the 6 seed. Where you guys stand on that?
I seen somebody from ESPN actually picked them to finish second in the East, which being very generous. I'm thinking 4 or 5. Obviously, you mentioned the Knicks, that they got Mikal Bridges. Now they're getting Karl Anthony Towns. I don't know how all those guys are going to mix together. Hopefully, it blows up in their face. Philly got Paul George. Boston pretty much ran it back, but I mean, why not with the roster they have? But I wasn't crazy about running it back. I'm not a big Isaac Okoro fan, so that extension didn't really excite me much. Maybe Kenny Atkinson can get something out of him that JB Bickerstaff couldn't. One guy I think Atkinson will get a lot out of is Evan Mobley. I think he'll help elevate his game and the way he wants to use him. The same with Darius Garland. It was good to see Darius Garland put on some weight, some muscle. But like you mentioned, Donovan Mitchell. I mean, if there's an athlete in Cleveland that gets us meter is off the charts, it's him. You mentioned going to the barbecue in Utah. There was the Browns tailgate. He's out in the Muni lot with his camera videotaping Myles Garrett and then playing cornhole, playing keg bowling, with just mixing in with the fans. I mean, when you see a NBA superstar or a superstar in any sport do something like that. That's a very rare thing, especially in Cleveland. So yeah, I mean, they're going to need him. They're going to need Mobley. They're going to need Garland. They're going to need bench production. They're going to need George Niang to hopefully lost some weight and got a shot back.
Hopefully he gave some of that weight to Mobley.
I pick on Ty Jerome because of the season-ending ankle injury, but
Who?
I was actually excited when they signed him last offseason, and supposedly he's been the star of the pre-camp workouts, and they could really use his three-point shooting off the bench and in that backup point guard role. So I'm actually anxious to see what he can do. Jalen Tyson looked good in the summer league. I'm excited to see if he can crack the rotation. But I think their big move, they didn't make a move this offseason. I think their big move will come at the trade deadline, and Karis LeVert's an expiring deal that they're probably not going to keep. I think they can end up moving him, and that could be a slot where Tyson moves into that spot, and they fill another hole that they need with the first contract. But I see them as a 4 or 5, and I'm anxious, especially with the way the Brown season's going for their season to get underway here, and they're going to have a winning record and play some exciting games during the regular season. So yeah, definitely looking forward to the season.
In the same boat. I wasn't, kind of like Kev said, I wasn't a big fan of running it back. I thought for sure if they could make a move with Garland, they'd get him up out of here. But from what I read today, same thing. He gained some weight. I heard Mobley put on some weight as well. So I'm excited to see what they do. That's whoever said second in the East. God bless you, but that's just not. I can't see that happening. Not with the moves the other team has made. The other teams have made, and we're just basically running it back. But we're depending on internal development, internal growth. That's the only way this team is really going to get better outside of the addition of Jalen Tyson coming in here, and possibly, making some kind of impact. But I don't know. Same boat. I'm interested to see what they do. I will always be happy to see Tristan Thompson on this team. Not because of, he brings a championship experience, whatever. But I mean, go look it up. He punched Draymond at the club, man. That's you punch Draymond, you got a forever fan. He needs his number retired for that alone. Period.
I agree.
At the club or in the arena?
At the club.
He was smart. He did it off the floor.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get more into the Cavs here as gets closer to regular season, but it's always fun when media day. There's a lot of optimism. Even if you have that realist look at it, like Kevin said, maybe a 4 or 5 or somewhere in that range, but hope springs eternal. So we have that going for us.